Hi, Mr.Lerro. It's Lennon. So this is gonna be our podcast project, but unfortunately, Chris is not with me. Chris has unfortunately gotten in a pretty serious motorcycle accident. He is broken, I believe, both of his arms and a leg, and is currently in the hospital. So I'm gonna try to do my best to do our project for the both of us. I had him send me his research paper, and I'm going to attempt to try to connect both my project based on the Me Too movement and his project based on the impeachment trials. His may not be perfect just because I don't know that much about his project, but I hope that you still give at least both of us some credit. So, again, I do apologize, but there's not much I could do about, Chris ending up in the hospital. But from what I've gathered from both his essay and the research that I've gathered, the Me Too movement so far, it splits the country mostly because people see it in two different lights. They see it in the light of either they see it as good and they see it as bringing awareness to sexual violence, sexual harassment, and all this other stuff, or they see it as bad as it can bring a lot of there can be a lot of negative feedback, a lot of negativity, and it opens up the idea of people being able to falsely accuse someone of rape. For example, Trump being accused of, rape by I believe it was like 13 other women, I believe. So the media is very, very divided on the Me Too movement, and it's very hard to find actual legitimate evidence and non-biased information about the Me Too movement because everyone is so divided on the topic. As well with the impeachment, as in Chris's essay, he wrote that uh, pretty much the country split down the middle 50-50. I believe he said NBC News, they did a study, 48% of people say he should be impeached. 48 people said he shouldn't be impeached, and 4% didn't care or had no opinion on the matter. So the country is dead divided in the middle of whether or not the impeachment is good, or whether he should be impeached, or whether he shouldn't be impeached. I think it's very revealing of how the media definitely divides itself, especially in modern times, as you know, it's two very important topics need to be talked about: sexual violence and or the impeachment. The country tends to divide itself straight down the middle. But we all do need to come to a conclusion at some point. And with the media being as divided as it is, that can be very difficult. But I do believe these two are connected because, again, they're both split down the middle across the country. A lot of people believe that the Me Too movement serves a lot of good. A lot of people think it serves a lot of bad. Same with the impeachment. And the fact that the Me Too movement has aided in Trump's impeachment, as the Me Too movement gave people the empowerment, gave people the resources, and gave people the encouragement to go and um, come forth with sexual violence and their experiences with sexual violence. And that definitely did play a part in at least Trump's campaign to become president. As I said, they had 13 or 14 women come forth and say that Trump sexually violated them or raped them or anything of that matter. And but yeah, I do believe these two are very connected, very much in link with each other, especially talking about how the media perceives them and how Democrats do tend to lean towards the fact that the Me Too movement is good and that the impeachment should go forward. And a lot of Republicans tend to see the Me Too movement as, as it could lead a lot of bad, as it can, as I've said, bring forward a lot of false accusations, a lot of tension, a lot of unneeded drama. But they do firmly believe that Trump should not be impeached. So I think these two topics are definitely very connected, and it definitely shows how the media takes certain topics and splits them down the middle pretty much. Splits them between the left and the right, or Democrats versus Republicans. It splits it dead down the center. And it definitely and from my research at least, and what Chris was able to show in his essay, is that it's very hard to find unbiased information, you know, unbiased people talking about the topic instead of trying to show their biases and trying to show their point of view. Um, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you again for understanding that there's not much I can do in this situation about Chris being in the hospital. I hope this is still good enough, and I hope I did this properly. So, thank you again, Mr. Lerro. Goodbye.